Here with swimming and diving coach Eric Lindquist. Coach, it's kind of hard to believe that we're talking about your last competition before Christmas break when it feels like we just talked about the beginning of the season, but the Macalester Invitational, the Roger Allman Invitational is your last competitive action before the Christmas break. But before we talk about this coming Saturday, let's talk about last weekend at Hamlin. Some very good times from a number of different people.
Definitely, yep. Spent today going through seeing who our MIAC qualifiers were across the board in swimming and diving. We got people making their qualifying scores and some that are already qualified and just improving upon those times, so very happy.
How important is that to get that kind of out of the way early on to make sure that you get those qualifying marks in for the conference championships?
I think it depends on the athlete. Definitely a motivator for some of our athletes to make that. Some people have already achieved that, so that's not their motivation, but it's nice to check them off and not have to worry about them.
Let's talk a little bit individually at Hamlin. Joe Tonda seems to really be coming on as a freshman. Had another great meet with 3 events in the top 12. And then on the women's side, you've had a number of different people that really kind of are stepping up in their respective events and doing a nice job.
Correct. Very much looking forward to see how Joe can do throughout his first collegiate season. Grace Van Beest, same thing on the women's side, having a good year, all the way through to our upperclassmen, our seniors who are starting to shine too.
Let's talk a little bit about Macalester now. Expectations for this one? You can't say, okay, we'll do better next week, because really until after the Christmas break and you guys get to head to Puerto Rico, there isn't another event in between. So talk a little bit about the importance of Saturday's performances.
Correct. Yeah, we are putting some emphasis on this for sure. We're adjusting our training a bit. Normally we might have a slight rest or mini taper, if you will, in December for that last meet, which we don't have this year. So we're going to try and tweak a little bit. We've got some people swimming large numbers of events this weekend. Marit Christensen's going to try the 400 IM and the 1,000, and we've got athletes with 5 events this weekend. So we're putting some emphasis on this for sure. That's why we swim it. We got to go see what can happen.
And then what do you do now from here on out? You've still got basically 3 weeks before the Christmas break, before final exams. How do you keep people motivated through that time where there isn't a competition to look forward to?
Right. Well, I guess that's my challenge. We try to keep things creative. We keep things fresh. We'll definitely be strong in the weight room. And we do have the Thanksgiving break, which we'll break it up just a little bit with Thanksgiving being a little bit later. But I'll do everything I can to keep us working hard.
And then let's talk about over Christmas break. I had mentioned before, you guys will take a training trip. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep, we'll head to Dorado, Puerto Rico this year, where we'll train. We don't have our competition set up yet for this one, but we're working on that. It'll be 8 days of 2-a-day practices, long course swimming hopefully, and some really, really good focused training. Just so happens it's warm and palm trees, so that's not too bad.
Obviously it's got to be one of the things that the athletes do look forward to. In a sport like swimming and diving, where it's a lot of just training, it's such a training sport that it must be nice to be able to say, hey, we're going to go to Puerto Rico and train for 8 days, where not only will you get in 2-a-day training, but in a nice environment as well.
Yeah, I call it a trade-off. It's how I get my work out of them, I guess. It's a kind of a collegiate swimming tradition. We've been a number of places over the years. We don't go every year, so we're really looking forward to this one.
And before you get to go to Puerto Rico, you've got the Macalester Roger Allman Invitational this weekend up in St. Paul. Good luck.
Thank you.